guy writes, my relationship is not going well. What should I do? Young couple, both of them are 18. He writes, so I started dating my best friend last month. Things were going great for the first 2 weeks. Okay. The only bad thing was that we were never gone on a date. Well, do it. But I didn't care. I was happy. So what did it entail? I mean, you just talking on the phone every day, maybe seeing each other at school. After that, she has had a really rough patch in life. So you're probably thinking you have to go swoop in and save her. And oftentimes what you do is you try to look at her situation, then you try to fix her problems, which makes her not feel understood. That just causes a downward spiral in the relationship, which causes arguments, which causes you to be hurt and then her to be hurt. And then this bounce back and forth. He says, work is hell. Her sister got, this is her situation. Work is hell. Her sister got pregnant and a few other things. During this time, she just told me that I need to be patient and slow down a little. She's helping you, dude. Women who like you help you. And I think that was actually really cool of her to do and really good advice for her to give you. It's like when you're probably taking way too much action. That is one of the most common things guys do that turn her off. And so what you're probably doing is like, oh, she's hurt, she's this, she's got all these problems, and I have to go fix her, and I have to fix all her problems. She just wants you to listen. She doesn't want you to reach out to her every day and 5 times a day or however many times you're trying to text her and just basically smother her with action. Back off. Slow down. I mean, specifically, she said that to you. And take that as complete truth. I did out of love and respect for her. Okay, how'd you do that? Because oftentimes I just see like, oh yeah, I did it, but it's like they didn't really. I thought this stopped last week because we started texting and calling relatively regularly again. Bad move, dude. It's like you're not even seeing each other. It's been 2 weeks. You're not seeing each other. You're just calling her. Probably you're the one initiating all the conversation. Let her initiate more. Until Friday. Friday was our 1 month. Have you still not even had a date? And I wanted to call her and tell her how much I actually care for her. Nah, dude. That's feminine behavior. And you acting in your feminine when she's in her feminine, that's going to completely repel her. Let her bring up her feelings towards you. Oftentimes when guys bring up their feelings, it's coming from a place of almost like trying to lock her down or thinking that even if they're like, oh, that's not true. That's not what I'm feeling. It's like oftentimes it really is, or at least it's communicated in that way. And so you want to, and also understand that women fall in love much more slowly than men. Men can fall in love and attraction just by really seeing a beautiful woman, whereas women oftentimes it's a much longer period. And so if you're doing everything right, which this guy is not, but if you are doing everything right, then it usually about that 2-month range is when she starts to have those initial feelings of starting to love you. And so if you're just basically rushing into this way too soon, it's like, what did she tell you? Just like, what was it, a couple weeks ago, or maybe even less than that? You need to slow down a little bit. So your solution is like, yeah, okay, slow down. 3 days later, it's like, okay, I gave her 3 days. That slowed down a lot. Now I'm going to basically make up for that and then tell her how much I feel about her and completely throw up my emotions on her. It's like that is doing the opposite of slowing down, dude. And that's probably the reason why you're having problems. She never answered back for 7 hours. Dude, there you go, man. It doesn't work. Eliminate that. And I mean, you're doing it early. And so I did this too when I was young. I thought this would actually work. Maybe I saw it in movies or whatever. It's like, 2 seasons later, I'll just get the girl. You know, it's like it doesn't work that way in reality. When you make even like one mistake like this, then oftentimes you are done and you will never get another shot with them again. You know, it might be different in your situation because you've been friends for so long, but most likely not. Then the next day we chatted for a bit. Did you initiate that conversation, or did you give her that space to reach out to you? And it seemed like she was troubled. I asked her about this. She responded, I really hate to ask this, but do you think we make a good couple? She's breaking up with you, dude. She's freaked out. You basically expressing your feelings like that. It's basically rushing in way too fast. She already told you not to do that. Like healthy and all that, end quote. So she's feeling like this isn't healthy for you to reach out to me this much. It's freaking me out. I feel completely turned off by you. Back off. I want to basically never talk to you again, and our friendship is completely over because you've been acting this way. And if you keep acting this way, I'm going to get a restraining order. I'm going to tell my dad. I'm going to tell my brother, and he's going to beat you up if you keep messaging me. Okay. I responded with how happy I was to be with her and that I thought it was a healthy relationship. Goes both ways, dude. It's a two-way street. She's not feeling that way. And you brought this on yourself through the actions that you're taking. Well, that was yesterday at 1. At 1. She doesn't even respond. She hasn't even looked at it. Yeah, she saw it, dude. I sent a few other things. Man, dude. You're just digging yourself in this pit. And she hasn't looked at those either. Yeah, she has. And she's like freaked out by them. I'm really worried about this because even though it's only been a month, this is the most I've ever cared for somebody. Now you're in the realm of caring too much and completely ignoring the reality of the situation, and you're in this fantasy land. I asked my buddies for advice. Horrible move. Almost nobody at that age actually knows how to give you advice on what actually works. And for the most part, absolutely nobody at any age, really. Because you'll see these same types of patterns even with men who are like 50 years old, 70 years old, because they just never learned it and they keep repeating the same patterns of failure. Same basically situation happens, same reaction from her happens. Yeah. But he just said let her have some space, and I gave her almost a full day to respond. Okay, well that actually wasn't bad advice. Actually give her some space and then give her a full day to respond. Still, it's like you're like, okay, now it's time. And it's like, I gave her a full day, now it's good. It's like, no, it doesn't work that way. It's like you have to give her enough space for her to actually reach out to you, and that can take a lot longer. Yeah. We both have one more month until school started up again. So probably in summer vacation. We're the oldest seniors in the grade. So he's like connecting them through that. It's like, that's why we're the perfect match. It doesn't feel good with you, dude. And I think things would get better. Yeah, I mean, I think you pretty much blew it at this point. Because we'd see each other more often. Hasn't it been a full month and you haven't ever seen each other at all? I'm just really worried because I do care for her and I don't want to lose her. There you go. I don't want to lose her. Acting out of fear. And that's going to freak her out. And that's really one of probably the main reason that you're taking so much action, and then you just don't really know how attraction works. So what should I do? And then he says, sorry about the writing. This was written on my phone. I would say you completely back off. And if you keep taking this much action and you keep expressing your feelings this soon when she's not expressing her feelings to you, and you keep basically living in this fantasy of everything's just like rosy and everything's so perfect, and it's just you not even looking at the situation at all, because it's like she's obviously telling you things. It's like she's really freaking out by you, because it's like she doesn't even want to respond to you, and she's completely avoiding you because she doesn't want to hurt your feelings, because she doesn't want to be in a relationship with you, dude. Only thing you can do is give her space, but do not eliminate the things like, okay, I gave her a day, that's enough space. It's like, no, it's enough space when she says it's enough space. And it's like you back off completely until she reaches out to you. It's not like, well, I waited a day, that gave her space. Now I'm going to keep reaching out. And then, like you said, I messaged her 3 times after I gave her space. It's like, it doesn't work, dude. So, I mean, if you can find this video and then you can get those products, that will give you basically, it will absolutely put you head and shoulders over every single person you will ever encounter in your age group. And once you start applying that, well, I anticipate, going forward, she's going to dump you. And I anticipate a lot of pain from your point. But I still anticipate like you getting that pain, but also not knowing what to do. And then, it could lead to a dark path, I guess. But man, you just got to learn relationships, and you got to learn how to act. And you can't act out of this fearful state. Otherwise, it's just going to ruin your chances with any girl you're ever with. So you can get the fundamentals for free in the description below. You can get the products there for $30 in the description. And I'll see you soon.